then we'll do one or two things, then we'll close the service. So shall we put our hands together as I invite Dr. Olayide Olaosebikan. Where is he? All right, sir, you can come forward, sir. Let's encourage him. And for your information, his wife is a minister in the Redeemed Christian Church of God. So very soon, he will also become a minister. Amen. You want to stay there, or you can come and stay. Amen. God bless you, sir.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, depending on how you like to be addressed. My name is Olayide Olaosebikan, and it's quite very interesting when you stand in front of God's people. For me, it's an inspiration, and that is what I like to do best. But I have not, that's why I didn't go up there, because it's meant for called people. I have not called yet, and I wouldn't like to insult God's integrity. That I know since I've been young. My grandmother used to tell me that. Okay. I will just go straight to the point. Like I said, my name is Olayide Olaosebikan. I find myself luckily or unluckily to be in the UAE. This is a place I never thought I would ever come to. You know, my family, my kids and wife, they come here for holidays. But fortunately for we Christians, or so-called Christians, we don't listen to the Word of God. Now, let me start. In addition to all the scriptures that the pastor has given, I will recite some scriptures, and I would like the members of the audience to actually read it. I'm quite a strict lecturer in the classroom. If you see me in the classroom, I'm not really a nice person. Then when I mark your script, you'll probably cry. Now, can someone go to John 5:24 and just read it nicely to us? But when I teach you in the classroom, right, and you graduate, you always come back and say thank you to me or give me something. Not money, though, because I won't take it. Right, John 5:24. Can anyone just read it for me? John 5:24. Okay. You might be wondering, why is he saying this with entrepreneurship? Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believeth on him that sent me hath everlasting life, and he shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death unto eternal life. You might be thinking, what is he talking about? Life, death, entrepreneurship? Okay. Now, I'll take you to another scripture, Jeremiah 29:11. Somebody read that for me. Jeremiah 29:11. Somebody? Okay. Now, when the Lord is thinking good about you and is telling you, right, that he wants you to have peace, to prosper, and to have an expected end. What's an expected end? Expected end is for you to die very well, right? And when you are gone, for people to celebrate and have a nice party after you. Is that right? Then, if you go back to the word, John 25:4 again. Go back again. Somebody read it. Thank you. Now, when you hear Jeremiah 29:11 and you believe it, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? This is supposed to be an interactive session. You can talk to me. What does that tell you? Yes, ma'am. When God said to you, oh, he's expecting you to do well, he wants you to have peace, joy, happiness, and you didn't listen. if you didn't listen, then if you didn't listen, then you're going to end up being in Jeremiah. If you didn't listen to Jeremiah, right, 29:11, then what happens to you will be in John 25:4, isn't it? 25:4, right. Sorry. 5:24. Yeah. Okay. Now, let me now take you back to what the pastor was saying. Abraham was an entrepreneur. In actual fact, agro-entrepreneur, because he was doing agriculture, right? Then Isaac had loads of flocks, right? Then same with Jacob as well, isn't it? Okay. My dear good friend Joseph, he didn't have no flocks, he was a slave. But he was entrepreneurial in his mindset. He could see visions, but he didn't have any resources. But Pharaoh realized that this guy, there's something different in him. He ain't got no resources, but I'm not going to make him, I'm not going to let him get out of my sight. He's going to become a prime minister. He's going to control my resources. What about that? What about that? So his brain is what is being used. So he didn't really need to, go to the bank, write a business plan. So that is Pharaoh's business plan sitting beside him. So anything he says, right, goes. Media, can you please go to the website globalenterpriseclub.com, please? Now, leave on this one first. Let's go on this one. This was designed for the Nigerian graduates. As you know, we got like 180 million people in Nigeria. 40% of them are like young people. They don't have jobs. So I ended up sitting down with a guy called Goodluck Jonathan, who doesn't have so much luck these days, right? Okay. And we agreed to come up with something. And we did this, right? I mean, I had to do all this, right? And when it came to the time for them to, implement it, they now wanted to politicize it and use it to embezzle money. And I said, that's not my way of working. So a guy called, I'll mention names, a guy called Aneni. Yeah, Anthony Aneni. He said to me, you're this small boy. What do you need money for? And I told him, Baba, I don't need money for anything. I've already had my sandwich. And it cost me 100 naira to buy a loaf of bread. So when you're mentioning all these millions, I don't think it's going to work. So how do we do those millions? So you leave that to me. I said, Papa, but you don't know about these things, right? I designed it. I know the way it's going to work. And you're talking the millions. So how do you distribute the millions? So I walk out of the villa. And we're doing it quietly in Nigeria. And a lot of graduates are actually running their own businesses, right? But, I mean, this is not the place to talk about all this. Now, entrepreneurship is a mindset, and it's God-given. And God has given every one of you, right, a talent. That takes you to the parable of the talent. You remember that parable in the Bible? So if you don't use the talent given to you by God, what's going to happen to you? Oh, no, you forgot. It's not going to be taken away. You end up in debt. You die, you go to hell. Because you guys like to judge yourself softly, right? Don't. You don't judge yourself softly. Whatever God has given to you, use it wisely. Now, let me give you some instances of what's actually happened. There was a woman. She has a daughter, right? She does not have the right to stay in England. And she does not have a source of income. She comes to my church. And people always try and help her one way or the other. And I said, you've got a daughter. She's underage. So why don't you ask for other people with young children and let them deposit them in your place while they're going to work? You charge them 50 pounds every month. I mean, every week, which is the going rate. A normal nursery would charge 75 pounds. I said, just charge them 50 pounds. Take like 5 or 10, between 5 and 10. So the woman took 5 times 50, 250 pounds. She only pays 50 pounds rent, right? Now that's £1,000 a month. Now she runs a nursery. Now she has her own documents to stay in the country. Now she's employing people. And people used to pity her. And I used to say to her, I'm not pitying you. You need to start thinking. Because when you pity people, you're actually, not helping them at all. I'll tell you this is an interesting one. I have a friend, my best friend. He's actually my very, very best friend, right from school. I won't mention his name because Pastor Mando, he went to Loyola College. And this guy, there's nothing in the world that is bad that he doesn't know how to do. He drinks, he takes drugs, he does everything, he humanizes. And my mother used to say to me, how come is this boy that is your own best friend? And I said, well, because he's the only one I can trust. Because nobody really gets to know him because they don't talk to him. They think because he smokes, he takes drugs, he drinks alcohol, he humanizes, that is so terrible. But I normally just sit down with this guy and he talks to me and we enjoy our conversation. And that does not mean I take the drugs and alcohol or whatever with him. But I'm always happy to be with him till tomorrow. So, when we go to England, but people don't know why he drinks, why he does all these things. This is a guy that never met his mom. His mom actually died on their way back to Nigeria from England, when they were born in England. So he didn't know that. So when his dad told him his story while they were growing up, then the distress started coming in. So the only way he could handle it is get drunk, take drugs, because that's for free in Loyola College, where Pastor went to secondary school. It's free. Drugs is free. Yeah, am I right, Pastor? But he was so lucky he didn't do it. They didn't sell it to him because he didn't have the money to buy. Yeah. Right. Okay. Now we go to England. This guy still continued drinking a lot. So one day I told him, in actual fact, his wife doesn't talk to him anymore till tomorrow. So I told him, you love drinking, right? He goes, yeah. And he works really hard. I said, how much savings have you got? He said, he had 10,000 pounds. I said, okay, 10,000 pounds. You're going to start a wine bar. So you sit down there and drink every day. Guess what? He started the first wine bar. Within 3 months, he was the wine bar of the town. Because he's always there drinking. So the owner of the business is drinking and counting his money. So I said to him, you know what? You need to expand this business. So we went to Birmingham. We got another one. Nottingham, another one. Leeds. But we always open it in students' area because it's students that drinks a lot. So my friend will get in the car, get a taxi. He will drink in Nottingham today, drink in Birmingham tomorrow. So I will call him, where are you? Oh, I'm in Leeds. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, drinking. Okay. Guess what? One day he said to me, I'm just even tired of drinking. I want to start counting my money. I said, that's the idea. So whatever you like doing, turn into a business. You like cooking for your friends to come and eat? Yeah, start taking orders. You like doing your friends' hair or playing with children's hair? Tell your friends to bring their kids. Do their hair for them, 5 dirhams. You like talking, right? Start your own chat show. But every human being has got a talent. If you try and bury it, that's your responsibility. Now, I'll tell you how I become an entrepreneur. I became an entrepreneur not because I didn't know what I was doing, but I don't like buying and selling. I go into the classroom this day, and there was an entrepreneurship lecture. And I go into the classroom and I said to the guys, okay, guys, lesson 1, introduction, blah, blah, blah. And the guy said to me, Oi, how come you're teaching us entrepreneurship? And I go, yeah, I'm your teacher. He goes, what car do you drive? I mean, an English white boy. What car do you drive? And I said, why do you want to know? And he goes, I want to know because if you're going to teach me entrepreneur, I want to know what car you drive. I want to know what area you live in. So I want to know if you got money. I thought, okay. And yeah, I don't drive, I told him, but my children drive. Oh, what car do they drive? I told him, oh, my son drives a BMW. My wife drives an Audi A40. I go, oh, that's all right. Then he can tell me a little bit of entrepreneurship. And this chap was supposed to have been expelled In actual fact, he's faced so many different disciplinary. But because of the way he attacked me in the classroom, I now got an interest in him. So I now told him, why do you think entrepreneurs have to have money? Because my dad is an entrepreneur. Sorry about this language, but he's a bastard anyway. And I thought, how can you call your dad a bastard? He goes, yeah, because he got so much money, he left me and my mom. I said, okay, so what's that got to do with this now? He goes, yeah, I want to become an entrepreneur so that I can show him that I'm better than him. And I asked him, what skills have you got? He goes, there's nothing I cannot do on computers. That I actually taught him computers and how to handle computers, and now he's got a big farm. I said, okay, so you want to do that? Guess what? By the time I set up this guy, or we set up this guy, you can Google it, Towies Incorporation. Most of the IT projects that is done by British Airways, I mean, most of the big companies, he actually handles it. And this is a guy that was going to be ejected from the college. He will call me sometimes and say, Ola, where are you? I say, oh, I'm here, I'm in XYZ. Oh, I was going to send you a car because you should change your car. And I said, I don't drive Towies. It's not because I don't drive. I drive, but I don't really want to drive because it's stressful. Okay. Now, a woman, I've told the pastor this story before. She used to do cleaning jobs in England because she hasn't got papers. And you know, cleaners, they will go early in the morning, right, before the police actually be on parade, clean and go back home. So they got caught this early morning. And they sent her to Nigeria with other people, with others. And when I got to Nigeria, she was trying to come back to England. So I did not know why she was in England. So somebody brought her to my house and said, maybe I could help her to go back. And I said, what do you used to do in England? And she goes, I used to be a cleaner. I said, can't you clean in Nigeria? And she goes, oh, no. I said, you can start a cleaning farm in Nigeria, right? All you need is get some hoovers, get some gadgets, and you employ people. Let me give you a few contacts. And I called my friends, like a commissioner, a MD of a bank, I've got somebody here who really knows how to clean. Who does your cleaning for you? They say, oh, in actual fact, the person that does it now, he charges us too much money, blah, 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 blah. So you got somebody. Is she registered? I said, no, but she could register tomorrow. So I called my contact in Abuja. They registered a business for her. Obviously, that would take 3 months, but obviously, it's already registered. Guess what? She's a multi-millionaire now. Her own children that she went to England to clean and suffer for are now doing masters in England. Somebody shout hallelujah. Now, you're looking at me with interest. What do you like doing most? Tell me. What's your name? Ayobami. I'm not going to tell you or ask you stories about how you go to Dubai, but I think you're wasting away in Dubai because I know you can do something that you don't know you know how to do. What do you enjoy most?
Cooking.
You enjoy cooking. What is your most favorite meal? Beans and plantain. Oh, that reminds me of a friend of mine. His mom used to be Yalakara, right? Stand there. His mom used to be Yalakara. And his mom really struggled to send him to school while we were in the uni. So, I mean, I used to help him a lot because he used to bring akara. And that akara was so sweet, you know. So when we finished, I told my dad that my dad should help him with a job. My dad said, no, this guy does not need a job. That his mom sells akara, that it can change the way the akara is done. Guess what? This guy has built a house for his mom, and he has now repackaged the akara to become something else. Do you understand that? So, beans and plantain. You're in the wrong place to start with, because the Emiratis don't eat beans and plantains. Do you get it? Where do you live in Ibadan? Or in Lagos? Or oh, see, I didn't even know that. I just said Ibadan. Spirit-led. Now, do you know 100 people in Ibadan?
More than 100.
You know, let's just be, conservative. 100 people, right? Ibadan people, they love food. Yeah. 100 people, Do rice and, beans and plantain, charge them 200 naira beans and plantain, the packet, times 100. How much is that? 200 times 100, right? 20,000, right? Do you make that in a day here? Huh? What are you doing here then? What are you doing here then? 20,000 naira, that is like 2,000 dirhams, right? No, sorry. 200 dirhams. 200 dirhams, you have to work six days a week, times 6. How much is that? 1,200, right? Times 4. How much is that? 4,008. Do you get paid that in a month? So what are you doing here then? Did you do mathematics in school, arithmetic? So I think you need to go back home. Do your mathematics. If you didn't want to go back home, I will arrange something with the pastor. We'll give you money to buy some pots. In actual fact, I've got some spare pots at home in Ibadan, right, which I can give to you. Really decent pots, right? And, beans is really sticky at the bottom. But these are like glass pots. Beans can stick on it with frying pans. And you make some decent beans and plantain. 100 people, right? Yeah? That you can charge 200. I know like 10 people. Hang on. I know like 10 people that you can charge 2,000. Do you understand? 10 people, you charge them 2,000 for every time you supply them every day. Are you with me? Because they love beans. I know they love beans. So, you are so lucky. Are you willing to go and repackage yourself? And guess what? You remember there's a group when we're growing up, right? Rice and Beans Orchestra. They sing, and they were very popular. So, Beans and Plantain Orchestra, you can say that. That's a good name. Beans and Plantain Orchestra, or Republic, or something. Okay, sir. What's your passion? What's your passion? Fashion. Fashion. What sort of fashion? Fashion is a big business. What sort of fashion? What sort of wears? From undies to socks, to hats. It's a big business. What particular aspects? Shirt and
shoes, trousers.
You want to be selling or making them? Selling. Oh, there's too many sellers. But that does not mean you cannot sell yours. But do you know, like 10 people that actually believe in you? That actually believe in you. It's your passion to dress well, right? But can you make them?
No, I cannot make them, but I can.
What can you make?
But I'm into business. I don't know how to make anything.
Then you're a businessman. You cannot become an entrepreneur. They're two different things. And let me just clarify that. People like Aliko Dangote, Femi Otedogbala, they're not entrepreneurs. There is no entrepreneur in Nigeria. They're all businessmen. Do you understand that? So, don't let me embarrass them. They don't have those skills. And really and truly, they did not have the resources. But I know where they got the resources from. Are you with me? Now, to be an entrepreneur, you must have a skill, an idea, or innovation. Do you get me? So, I would guess you are Igbo, right? Yeah. They love businesses, but Igbo people are entrepreneurs. A lot of them are entrepreneurs. So I think you need to revisit your memory and pray to God to show you the way. Because let me tell you something, God can show us all the way. Are you with me? Now, let me talk about sit down, guys. Okay, I'll talk to a nice young lady, or maybe not very nice, miss. Oh, let me go to this side. Excuse me. What do you like doing, madam? What do you like doing? Pardon? Work. To work? What sort of work? Like to work? Fashion. What's the fashion? You can take the microphone.
To design clothes.
To design. Do you know how to design?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
What can you design?
Like this.
Now, have you thought of setting up something of yourself? Hello? Have you thought of setting yourself up? You haven't. You haven't. Talk.
Yes, I can design clothes.
You can design. You can make as well. Do you know like 100 people you can make for?
Maybe 50.
Maybe 50. I think you need to talk to pastor or pastor's wife, right? Because you could start something with your life. Now, guys, there's a difference between a business person and an entrepreneur. Now, to be an entrepreneur, you have to have an innovation, right? A skill or a passion. My skill is teaching, but I turn into entrepreneurship, right? And people call me from all over the world to borrow my brain. Not many teachers can be borrowed, or not many teachers' brain can be borrowed. I think I'm going to come to the back there. Hi.
Hi, sir.
What passion do you have? What do you like to do? Do you have any passion, any skills? Tell us about it.
Yeah, I love to sew.
You love to sew. Okay. Do you know how to sew?
Just little idea, not too good.
Are you willing to improve yourself? Are you willing to learn? Have you accessed a place to learn? Do you know where you can learn from?
No.
Now, there's a young lady there that really knows how to sew, that one over there. You can become friends. You can network with each other. And that's an aspect of entrepreneurship. You have to have a network because you can't do it by yourself. Okay. Let's try you. Any passion, any skills?
I love business.
You love?
Business, like selling and buying.
Okay, she loves business, selling and buying. You can only become a businesswoman. But those things that you buy and sell, what are they? What do you buy and sell?
Like clothes, shoes.
Clothes, shoes, right? Now, why don't you get somebody to make your own clothes and shoes for you rather than going to the market? Then you are doing something which is already in existence, but you're doing it differently so you can become an entrepreneur. So you don't buy from the market. You go to a tailor, right, which is making for those people in the market and make for you. And you put your own label. Then you become an entrepreneur. Do you get it? Young man over there. No, you, yeah. What's your passion? What do you like? What skills have you got?
Yeah, I got a lot of skills.
Tell me one.
I like fashion.
You like fashion. Tell me another one.
I'm not a tailor, but I have some creativity, like being ask some 2 or 3 guys.
You can design. You can put people together, right? Now, you know one thing, guys? This guy has an idea. He can put people together. He knows people, right? And he can use their skills to actually come up with something. That is the best entrepreneur. You don't know nothing, but you can use others. And that is what the Emiratis do. And that is why they call me, right, from England to come here. And they call somebody else from America, and they put all those together. And they say, okay, give us Dubai. And we gave them fantastic Dubai. And that's this guy. Are you a friend of the Sheikh, right? Are you a friend of the Sheikh? Because, I mean, you're thinking like him now. Now, the greatest entrepreneurs don't know nothing. But you know what? They have an idea, and they get the best people together to actually put it together for them. And they enjoy it. So that is what we call in Nigeria the 419s, right? But you're not one. Right. Any questions, anyone, before we go? Because I could be on here for like 3 days, 4 days, telling you different things, and you're going to love it, but we haven't got the time here. But let me give you this website. Media, give them the websites. You can go on it and acquaint yourself with those websites. You can use the materials, but don't print it off. You can read on it. But on the other hand, let me have the books. I will give copies of these books to the church, I mean, to the pastor or the pastor's wife. If you are interested, you can buy. Do you understand? when you buy, the money will not come to me. The money will belong to you in this church, right? And the money will be used as seed funding for people who want to start their own businesses in this church. Do you understand that? So if you count the amount of people, in the church right now, right, I will bring the order. I think it's going to take me like 4 weeks because it's going to be shipped for the printers or the publishers. So everybody should buy one. This package is like £15, right? 15 pounds in dirhams is times 5 or times 5.6. Now, if every one of you have a copy and that money is kept in the church, do you understand that? Hello? And somebody wants to run a business and they seed funding resident in the church, do you need a bank? So what are you waiting for? Why don't you just do that? So grab a copy. The money does not come to me. It will be resident in the church. So if you know how many people are in the church right now, let's say, are we up to 100 right now? Yeah? I mean, right now, over 200. So let's say 200 times 15 pounds, right? Because I still don't understand dirhams, seriously. And I don't carry cash because they always swindle me. 15 times 200, how much is that? Mathematicians. Huh? 10,000 pounds. 3,000 pounds. Yeah. 3,000 pounds, right? In dirhams, that will be times 5.6, right? So you have some decent money. And let me tell you something. The biggest business to start are the small businesses, SMEs, businesses of 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 dirhams. The money is quicker to swing around. Do you understand that? And if you need more copies, right, we can always send it. But on top of the resident seed fund that will be in the church, we have people we call angel investors. Now, go on those websites, right? Angel investors, I will give you the website address. Media, you can just give the website address, please. If you submit your business plan online and they like it, you will get a call. These are people that you don't know. And I can actually say to them specifically that you watch out for business plans from here. Obviously, I can always put my own money too. But I'm a very strict person. I'm not from Ijebu, but I'm quite strict with money because I don't know how to keep money myself, so I have to be strict with it. Do you understand that? So, now this one, when you try to read it, everybody mentioned in here I have worked with. People from nowhere that are now millionaires in Nigeria. These are guys roaming the streets of Nigeria. Their stories are not more than 7 years ago. But most of them now live comfortably well. Now, the greatest mistake you want to make as an entrepreneur is do not think you want to make money. Entrepreneurs don't think about making money. They think about impacting on their immediate environment. Do you understand that? When you start thinking about the money, you will see the money, but you will get confused on how to spend it. When you impact on people's life and everybody around you is happy, you have the money, it's staying in the bank, and you're not even spending it. Because people around you, they are making you happy. Steve Jobs, the founder of iPhone, is worth more in his grave than being alive. Are you with me? Entrepreneurs are always richer when they are dead than when they are alive. And you want to be richer being dead so that your children, you are sleeping in your grave, that your children and grandchildren, just like Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, they keep prospering. Abiola is not an entrepreneur. He died. His children are suffering. KFC. Are you with me? The man For 34 years, he was carrying out his business plan. Nobody to sponsor him. He got his first money to start his business at age 74. He's dead now. His children, his grandchildren has money. His KFC all over the world. Do you understand that? So if you're thinking about making money, be a businessman like the Dangotes or the Otedolas that swindle people. I believe businessmen and business, they swindle people. Entrepreneurs impact on life. Now, the young lady that likes fashion over there, the way you impact on life as a fashion designer is, people that dress shabbily before, they're now dressing sharper and they're getting more respect from society. Do you understand that? So you can impact on life in different ways. Now, if you have a restaurant, right, and you're in an environment and people are eating and getting fat, right, and they're getting non-athletic, then you need to change your menus, right? So when people are like living much more healthy in your environment, that means you're impacting on their lives. Your restaurant is giving them good meals, and they are happy, right? They are athletic, and they're living longer, thereby impacting more on the society themselves. You don't want to have a restaurant and operate in a society whereby they take people to the mortuary every day. If that happens, you need to then go and do some nutritional work and re-educate those people to come and eat in your restaurant so that they can live longer. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if your business does not impact on life and is impacting in your pocket and your bank account, seriously, verily, verily, I say unto you, you are walking in the wrong direction. Any questions, anyone? Yes, sir. Talk to me. Yep.
Sorry, sir. I have this question.
Go for it.
Bounding my mind. So you spoke to somebody right now who has a passion for cooking.
Sure.
And you're asking him, what is he doing here actually?
Yeah.
So, sir, for someone that has discovered his purpose, and it's like, you've discovered it, you know what you're going to do. You know the kind of service you're going to render.
Yeah.
But at a particular place, it's like what you're doing at that place, at that point in time, it's restricting you. It's restricting you from going forward. So do you just quit? Or do you start making that passion out of that ugly place that you're in? Or should you quit to a place where you know that you can actually strive quicker or better?
You know, one thing that I like this question, you see, when people ask this sort of questions, I know the kind of answers they're expecting me to give. But the right answer is what I'm going to give to you. Do you pray regularly? Do you speak to God? No, talk to me. Do you speak to God? Does he talk to you? God doesn't talk to you. Right. You see, let me tell you the honest truth, right? I always say to people, and my brother, who happens to be a redeemed pastor, people always say, but your brother is not a Christian. He will always tell them, my brother is the greater Christian that I know, but he will not say, yeah, I'm a Christian. Somebody shout hallelujah, amen, let's go there. If you speak to God, and God does not speak back to you, then there's something wrong. You're doing something wrong. Do you get it? Now, some of us, we're doing something right. God will speak to us, but we don't listen. You get what I'm trying to say? So there are two circumstances in there. It's either he's speaking to God, and God is speaking to him, but he's not listening, or he's listening and he's not doing it. Now, Joseph, when he was in prison, has a way out. I mean, when he was like a servant, he has a way how to uplift himself. The master's wife. Can you imagine it when your master is a minister, right? And you're a houseboy and you're helping the minister's wife? She could give you money to set you up. Do you understand that? She could do quite a lot for you. But obviously, it's the wrong uplifting. Do you get that? Joseph realized that he waited for God's time. Most of us, we don't wait for God's time. Daniel, he could be dead in the lion's den. He could have been burnt by the fire. But he was talking to God. God was responding. He knew that he was going to be president in Babylon. But it wasn't like we human beings, yeah, I'll be president soon. So, yeah. He was just mellowing and talking to God. Do you mellow and talk to God all the time? He's busy thinking about the dirhams. Seriously. I mean, I told Pastor my situation. I know how much I'm getting paid here. You know when they bring you in, when they need you, they'll pay you silly money. Do you understand? But for me, the money is nothing. Because I cannot eat more than my stomach. So do I put the rest of the money in my stomach, in the bank, right? Or I send it to my children or people, which I know. So what do I do with the money? I don't need the money. What I need is how many lives am I making changes to, impacting on. And I wasn't given the opportunity by this government here to actually do that. I was just tailored to their own young people alone. And I know that young people don't have the capacity. They have the resources. Do you understand that? Whereas you have the capacities, but you don't have the resources. But that is the way of the Lord. Do you understand? And that is why you have to find God to give you directions and visions. Do you get that? Does that answer your question? It doesn't, but does he open your eyes? That you can find the answers inside those. Because I'm this sort of person, I won't give you the answer. I want you to develop your own knowledge base, right? And develop your own understanding and knowledge. So all the answers are in what I've told you. Prayers, visions, God's time. So are you interested in this rice and beans and dodo? You got a customer here. Tag on him. Yes. Yeah.
Praise God.
Amen, somebody. Oh, yeah.
I want to ask a question.
Go for it.
You have a vision.
Mm-hmm.
Although you're working, but what you love doing is not working under somebody, but before you become an entrepreneur or possibly an owner of your own investments, you need to learn through somebody.
Sure.
You want to do something and you have like at least 50% or above 50% of what to start, what you're about creating.
Funds.
Yeah,
You talk about funds, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be scared. Just say money.
And you don't have the remaining ones to start up the business.
Sure.
So
That's always the case.
What are the best means to secure, make it out?
Right. The best means, I would say to you, the best means is be close to God. Seriously. When people ask me questions and I give them answers, they just think, but that's not the answer I'm expecting. Now, be close to God. And like I said, you are in this church right now. Get one of the books, and from there, the church will help you through it. Do you get it? Because very, very we say unto you, you got to listen to the word of the Lord. Without you listening, you can't make ends meet. Do you get it? And when you listen, then Jeremiah 29:11 will be your portion. Now, young lady, you were laughing when, you were laughing when I said something about his answers, right? I'll tell you the honest truth. You see, the way God works is very simple. God is a very simple man, but most people don't know it. And I always tell my children, when they ask me something, I said, no, I'm not giving you. They say, why? You're my dad, you have to provide for me. I said, well, you are not doing what I want you to do. So I'm not giving you, it's my money. And he goes, okay. Then you see them changing in the house, they start to do the things that you want them to do, then they come back 2 weeks after. Oh, Dad, you know that money I was telling you about? I say, okay, how much? £10. No, I'll give you 5 because you're actually improving. You give him £5. That is exactly the way God works. If you do his will, His will is very simple. It's giving you his rules, right? Do not sin. And when you sin, because I know you guys, you always sin. Because I always sin too. And the first thing I always say to God is, God, I know I've sinned today, but I didn't know how it happened. And you know truly that I didn't know because I didn't want to do it. But it happened. And really I did not know, but it happened. You say, okay, at least this guy is honest. Now, forgive me my sins. God, give me the opportunity to just keep on praising you. I'm not going to ask you for anything because you already know what I want anyway. I don't ask God for anything. Seriously. And there's nothing that I want, right? Or people ask me to do for them that I can't do. Because when somebody keeps coming to you all the time as a rich man, oh, Baba, give us this. Oh, no, we want this. You just get fed up. So I decided I'm not going to offend God. I'm not going to be asking because he created me anyway. So he knows what I want. And he's actually said it, right? The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He said, I shall not want. So why should I ask him again? He said it to me already. And said, give me this day my daily bread. So every day I always look for a daily bread. Entrepreneurs always look for daily bread, not money to save in the bank like businessmen. So entrepreneurs are not greedy. Give me this day my daily bread. It didn't say tomorrow's money. So most of you are saving money because of tomorrow. God doesn't want you to look after tomorrow because he's already looked after your tomorrow. He said it himself. Isn't it? The scripture said that God has looked after your tomorrow. Am I right? Who's going to give me that verse? Matthew 6. Matthew 6, Pastor is... Yeah, that's the website you need to go on to. Have a look to the website. Have the book. You can't go wrong. The pastor will guide you because the pastor is a man of God. God talks to him. And no matter what you want to do in this world, trust me, you will always be it. You will always be it. Do you believe that? What's your passion?
I'm a chef.
Now, let me tell you something, guys. Anybody who is into food, clothes, right? You can't go wrong. Because those are the basic things of life. Food, clothes. When you've eaten and you've worn some clothes, then you start about where are you going to sleep. Right? It is when you have somewhere to sleep, then you start thinking about, yeah, I think I need a girlfriend now, or, I need to get married to somebody now. No. So basic things of life, food, clothing, you will always sell. Clothing involves shoes, hats in the cold weather, right? Then if you're into building materials, yes, those are the basic things of life. Okay? So if you go into food, clothing, estates, you can't go wrong if you do it well. Well meaning honestly, right? You don't put 1 spoon of sugar in a tea where you're supposed to put 2 sugars in because you're cheating the customer, right? So God is always against that. So you're in the right profession. You're a chef. Apart from being able to cook, have you considered taking some young people in this church and training them as chefs? Have you considered that? It's not that you haven't considered it. But it's possible, you said. So go for it. From there, they might be the ones that will start their businesses, but they remember the master chef. You might not be the one making the money as an entrepreneur. It could be the people you've mentored, but they will not forget you. And guess what? You're going to heaven straight away. Because you know, God has told you, because you've listened to him. Do you get it? You are going to heaven considering that you do not sin. Sir. Pardon? Right, guys, I'm sorry I was just given like 30, 40 minutes for this. But, you can go to the website, you can go on the book. Make sure you grab a copy of the book. Now, let me tell you something. If you read the book, both books, and in the next 6 months, you have not started doing something with your lives, I will tell God myself to come and arrest you. Do you understand that? Because that book, everyone that has read it are doing something right now. I mean, there's a platform called academia.org. They will just send me emails. Somebody in Hungary is quoting your book. Somebody in countries I've never been to. And really and truly, I guess it's my students from England who are from those countries who have taken the books and they are quoting it in academic documents. But I don't care. I could sue them for it, get the money, but what do I need the money for? I've had my rice and beans, rice and plantain. Sorry, beans and plantain. So guys, get the book. You got the website. I'm in touch with the pastor, right? Considering the question you asked, there's a guy that asked the question about if you want to do so. Yeah, your question. Let me answer that question finally. If something is stopping you from getting to where you want to be, yeah, that's why I'm quitting UAE. I get paid so much money, but that money is supposed to be clouding my eyes for not being able to go and do the other things I needed to do, so I'm getting out. Because you can do better than what you are doing in this country, no matter what capacity you are in or situation you're in. Yes, sir.
I just have to probably shift this in. I don't know, probably there's any ground for mentorship. Someone like me, over the years, I've always trusted God, which is the process of every life. I've always believed in God because without God, there's no man. And over the years, I've always seen God's hand in everything because those that leave everything in God's hand, they eventually see Him working everything. But people like me, I think maybe there are others like me also. There are times probably we need grounds for mentorship, probably platforms that can actually enhance us. Because someone like me, even here in UAE, the job I was able to see is probably in line with my kind of life. I like when I see people happy. I like when I'm able to help. I like when I'm able to meet people, talk to them. And I like when they are able to come back and even they want to talk to me back again. There was a man I was just able to help with 1 dirham at the metro. Just 1 dirham. He was having 4 dirham. The day he came and shook my hand, I could see the feeling, the expression on his face, and that is life for me. At times it's just... What business are you into? Into customer service, Dubai Metro. So probably it's not just not just for this. I know, yeah.
Now, I was going to mention the aspect that this guy just mentioned. Apart from entrepreneurship, there's something called intrapreneurship. Intrapreneurship is you're working in a place, but you're doing things differently than other people are doing in that business. Guess what? Your bosses will notice you one day, and they will propel you. Do you understand that? That is intrapreneurship. Do you get that? So, but intrapreneurship can actually help you to become an entrepreneurship from where you are, customer services. Maybe you go back to your country, right? You set up like a little outfit, and you tell the banks, let me help you with your customer services. You start to train people from your experience. So there's nothing that you cannot become an entrepreneur in. Even, I've had friends who are like security guards in Nigeria, right? I mean, in England, and they go to Nigeria and they establish security companies, supplying companies. Do you understand that? Teslim Folari, your former senior leader, was a cabman in London. How did he become a senator? He took Babade Dubu. Babade Dubu took him back to Ibadan and used him as a senator. Do you understand that? So there's nothing that you do that, if you do it well, God will take you to another level. Do you get it? There are a few of your ministers in Nigeria that became ministers because they were in England before, they were cab drivers or security guards, or, those guys that work in hotels and open doors, concierge, right? And the senator came in, oh, you're from Nigeria, okay, come with me out. And they become senators. I know quite a lot of them. I mean, the ones I talked to are like Teslim Folari because I know he was a cabman. Do you understand? So most of your guys that are now making noise in Nigeria, they did something in England, somebody saw it, took them back to Nigeria, became senators, became ministers. It could happen to you too, but you don't want to wait too long here. Time waits for no one. You get it? Yeah? But most important thing, always pray to God for directions. You can't do it yourself. There's nothing you can do yourself. If you try doing it yourself, you just stress yourself, you